Episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com. Authentic Muay Thai lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of the Nak Muay. Go check it out.
I want to talk about Black Room at Deep Studios. If you enjoy the content of this podcast, you will definitely enjoy the value that you get out of the Black Room and being a member of the Black Room. What it is it's a subscriber-based way to support the podcast. If you enjoy the podcast and want it to continue, I'm asking for your help. And in exchange, you're going to get an underground view of Muay Thai, American Muay Thai, as well as within Thailand. We have people who are now working on the ground in Thailand that are helping us get media, content, all that stuff. We're posting it there on Black Room, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of the podcast recordings when we're recording. After I stop recording for stuff that we broadcast, we put some subscriber-based only content on there. So you're going to really get a lot of value out of that subscription. Okay, it's not just supporting the podcast. We also have podcast subscriber only merchandise that's coming out as well here in 2024. So you have to be a part of the Black Room in order to get access to that. So I'm asking you for your help on that, but I know that it's not so much of you helping me. It's going to be us giving you a ton of value that you're going to get and just enjoy it. And it's only $5 a month. All right, you can cancel it anytime. Every little bit counts. Please go join it. The link is down in the show notes. All right. Anyways, sit back and enjoy the show. Hey, Pu'u Muay Thai podcast team. I just wanted to say thank you for all the follows and support throughout the years at Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. We've been doing this over 5 years now. This is completely insane to me. The upcoming segment is a segment from our YouTube channel where it goes over gloves and glove recommendations. It's a great segment. Send this to your friends. If you are a coach, if you are a new student in Muay Thai, this is a great thing to have to share with your training partners, to share with that person who has those shitty gloves that might not be the best and most fun to train with. All right. With that said, sit back and tune in and enjoy. So what do you cop? Hey, if you train Muay Thai, watch fights, or coach athletes, this is one of those topics that's going to challenge how you look at the rules. Because today, I want to talk to you about something that's normally seen as, I guess in the West, seen as illegal, but in some places, it's totally allowed, completely allowed. We are talking elbows to the back of the head, specifically 12 to 6 elbows to the back of the head. My name is Jonathan Pu'u. I'm the founder of Pu'u Muay Thai. I've officiated thousands of fights around the world, coached multiple national champions. I've guided students from amateur to professional ranks, and I fought professionally myself. So when I talk about rules, I'm not speaking from theory. I've lived this in real time around the world, rules, regulations, all the good stuff, all right? And not to mention different languages that you get to deal with too. So let's get into what makes this strike so controversial and whether it should be allowed at all. If you're training under most international rule sets, especially in the USA, you've probably heard this drill in your brain. No strikes to the back of the head. Stop striking the back of the head. If you watch like mixed martial arts, you see this all the time. You hear about it, especially on the ground and stuff like that too. So a lot of people, this is drilled into them from day one. So that comes from a place of safety. The back of your head, the occipital region that's back here, it's your brainstem. This is an extremely vulnerable area of your body when it comes into your nervous system, your spinal column, and your brain. Extremely vulnerable. A clean shot there can cause instant disorientation, loss of motor control, or long-term neurological damage, which we'll get into in a little bit. Same goes for the infamous 12 to 6 elbows, straight downward strike. And it was banned under the unified rules of MMA for years, but recently it was voted to be legalized. And that's going to change how a lot of promotions approach the sport when it comes into MMA, right? But in Muay Thai, this is like, technically this has always been legal, but for those that don't know, when it comes into rules and regulations, Muay Thai, like elbows in the US, we weren't allowed to use those. 12 to 6 elbows, like There is some states where they would allow it. The boxing commissions would allow it, Arizona being one of them. All right. But what about Muay Thai in general? What about Thailand? So here's the context that gets important. It's very important context here. Under many stadium rule sets in Thailand, elbows to the back of the head and 12-6 elbows are legal. All right. Recent example that went viral, for example, is Joseph Grabani out of Kogan Dojo in Maryland. He was fighting at Rajadamnern Stadium, the Rajadamnern Stadium knockout in particular, this promotion. They boast like a high knockout percentage. They do these big highlight reels showing people getting knocked out. So he landed a brutal 12-6 elbow KO that connected directly to the back of the head of his opponent, Thai opponent. And under that promotion's rules in Thailand, it was completely legal. There's no foul. Fight's over. The referee waved out the fight, and he, Joseph, was declared the winner. And if you've only trained under Western sanctioning bodies, that might sound crazy, but that's how stadium Muay Thai works, right? Even if it's not written in the rules in Thailand, it's just kind of like those are the bricks. You'll see people get hit in the dick. You'll see like all kinds of crazy shit that happens at the stadiums that is not like codified in the rules. And now with Muay Thai becoming more international, you're seeing these rules more enforced and put down on paper. That way, we have something to reference and help the sport grow. You're seeing it at RWS, you're seeing it in Knockout, you're seeing it in more of the international style stadiums too. Now, if you've ever heard about the term rabbit punch, it actually comes from boxing. It refers to punches or strikes delivered to the back or the back of the head or the upper neck. So like it'll be this region back here. For those that are listening, I'm pointing to back, like right where your skull meets the base of your head. And there's actually a whole region at the back of the head. I'll put that image up here with like a circle around it if you're watching here on YouTube. So that region right there, that's where rabbit punches land. The name, it came from the way hunters would use to kill rabbits with a quick single strike with the butt of their gun, their rifle, right at the base of the skull of the rabbit. That way it would effectively kill the rabbit. Almost instantaneous, being a very effective method and seen as a way to be ethical when it comes into killing the animal. So that's how dangerous this is. A tragic real-world example is Pritchard Colon. He was a rising Puerto Rican boxer who suffered a devastating brain injury after taking repeated rabbit punches during a professional boxing fight. So regular boxing, we're not even talking elbows, we're talking padded gloves. Boxers punch extremely hard too. They only got these two weapons, so of course they're going to learn how to be most effective with it, right? But unfortunately, he collapsed shortly after the fight and slipped into a coma. And he did come out of the coma, but he was not the same ever again. And now he's living with, lives with a life-changing brain injury. And this is why many international Muay Thai rules strictly prohibit these kinds of strikes, because they understand the dangers of that zone on the back of the head. And it's something that people just have to be aware of. But in Thailand, for Muay Thai in Thailand in particular, it doesn't come from boxing. It's a martial art that originated in war. If you didn't know, Muay Thai is the only martial art to develop directly as a result of wartime. The sport has always been deeply rooted in realism and raw combat application and not just entertainment. We've seen it evolve into entertainment in this combat sport that we know and love today. And there's a cultural expectation there too. If you leave yourself exposed, it's your responsibility to defend yourself, right? I've seen referees where the boxer who's being clinched didn't know how to clinch, and the boxer turned around as the person was elbowing and it hit the guy in the back of the head, right? He put himself in that situation. While it's, technically a foul, it's also like taking advantage of the rules as well. And from a judging standpoint, elbows can be highly valued when delivered effectively, especially in the clinch or as a clean counter, right? So what I mean is not just elbows like being rated higher than any technique and judging criteria, but man, this is bone. This is like a ball peen hammer that's being used to bludgeon your opponent. All right. So just think about that. If it lands and causes damage, it often shifts the momentum of the round. right? Especially like you saw Joseph, and I'll talk a little bit more about another fighter with the elbows as well. And let's be honest too, if Grabani had been the one getting KO'd like that, you better believe that same promotion would be running it as a highlight reel to sell tickets to tourists. Quote, KO at Rajadamnern, brutal KO at Rajadamnern. You would see this blown up like on big TV screens and used as a highlight clip to promote Rajadamnern knockout series in Thailand. And that's the marketing machine in work. All right, marketing at play. That's the way it goes. Now, I want to give you my personal and professional opinion. Should elbows to the back of the head be allowed in Muay Thai? Again, this is coming from somebody who loves Muay Thai. It's all about authentic Muay Thai. I teach 12 to 6 elbow. I talk about like the only strike really being not legal in Muay Thai is nowhere. When it comes into self-defense, when it comes into sport, that's a different conversation. So no, I don't believe they should be allowed to the back of the head. Not because it's not skillful. It's actually very hard to elbow that intentionally, right? And not because it's not rooted in tradition, but because I've seen firsthand the damage that strikes like this cause. When you've been in the ring cornering, judging, referee, or coaching for as long as I have, you don't just see the KO. Like, you don't see the brutal KO that you see the highlight. You see what happens after the fighter leaves the ring. The hospital, the symptoms, sometimes hospital visits turn into stays. They have to get brain scans. They have to make sure the fighter's okay. And, like I was talking about with this boxer, Richard, he was with Pritchard. He was in the hospital, fell into a coma, and he didn't come out the same. All right. So the long recoveries also from this too. Sometimes fighters don't come back the same, either mentally or physically. Some fighters are a little bit slower. There's like boxers pugilistica, which is like boxers dementia. All right. You saw Muhammad Ali who's had symptoms of this, and they don't quite understand exactly what causes this kind of thing. But CTE and brain injuries, brain stem injuries, I mean, it makes sense that something like that might lead to that. All right. I believe Muay Thai is already dangerous enough when fought clean too. Like straight up. There's some people, Mark Entenberg, he's fighting Lethway. That shit's crazy, man. Headbutts, they could throw themselves to the ground. There's no standing counts. There's no 8 counts. There's nothing like that. Muay Thai there is. Like I think Muay Thai is brutal enough where that limit's at. And with that said, context matters. If you're watching clips online, like you're looking on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or like somebody sends you a clip, or you're watching a replay from the stadiums, especially from the Thai stadiums, or even breakdowns from other coaches, always ask, what is this rule set? What was it under? What was this rule set under? All right. Because the legality of the strike doesn't make it dirty or clean. What matters is whether it followed the rules of the fight, right? If 12 to 6 elbows to the back of the head are allowed, by all means do it. All right. By all means do it. All right. This is different than like knees to the groin. For those that don't know, knees to the groin used to be allowed in Muay Thai in the stadiums. There was actually a guy who decided to exploit that. And that came in over time, right? Because people didn't want to get knee in the groin. It's kind of like a gentleman's agreement. You don't knee each other in the groin. An elbow strike to the back of the head, like you don't put yourself in that position. Whereas like a groin strike, that's very easy to, it's there. Great for self-defense, right? That's highly recommend it. All right. But when a fighter like Rabani lands that KO, he's not cheating. There's so many people I saw this because so many people were blowing him out, calling him a dirty fighter, a cheater. He's going to Thailand to fight lesser skilled opponents, which I'll get into a little bit. He's not cheating. He's using what's available in the moment under those conditions and rules for the event. And if you're competing, coaching, or training, you need to know what's legal in your promotion that you're fighting in. Are elbows to the back of the head legal? Are 12 to 6 elbows legal? Are certain techniques prohibited? You need to know this. All right. Don't assume. Ask for the written rules of the promotion or speak directly with the ring officials at the event to clarify. Ask them. It's important. Even if they don't speak the same language, you can ask. You can show. Right? It's a martial art. Everybody understands this stuff. So that one question could save you from a DQ, being disqualification or a serious injury because you didn't know that you could elbow somebody in the back of the head and you end up eating one. So is it okay to elbow the back of the head in Muay Thai? Yes. Well, technically in some promotions, especially in Thailand, but should it be? In my professional opinion, no. I understand the roots of the sport. I love this art, but when it comes to fighter safety, I believe we can honor tradition and evolve responsibly in the sport for entertainment. Also, shout out to Joseph Rabani for gaining some traction where he actually just took home another win in Thai fight against the veteran Nakmoy Sayak Pu'u, who, funny enough, I've seen him fight, is known for his devastating elbows as well. So for those that were talking smack on Joseph saying, you're going over to be it, man, Sayak is a freaking beast. I know he's at the end of his career, but that guy, his experience gap between Joseph and him is massive. All right. It was showing Joseph is in better shape, so he was able to push the pace a little bit more on Sayak. But that doesn't detract from the fact that, he's over there trying to build an active record. We've talked about this. For pros, you have to be involved in Muay Thai, somewhere where you can fight consistently. And Thailand is the place to be able to do that. All right. So before you judge, know those rules, know what's going on. But I just had to give him a shout out to Kogan Dojo. You guys are awesome. Congrats to your fighter, Joseph. Don't let the haters keep it down. All right. So if this brought some clarity to you or sparked a different perspective in understanding into Muay Thai, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube or follow the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. Shout out to all my listeners, especially the Black Room at Deep Studios for the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. Drop a comment below if you are on YouTube. Let me know what you think. There's no one right answer. Do you think they should be allowed? Should they not be allowed? Should fighters, should it be just completely banned across the board everywhere? Or should it be allowed somewhere in places like Thailand? All right. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there. For me personally, from a place of safety, my job when I work as a ring official is fighter safety. I would say that it shouldn't be allowed. All right. So with that, train smart, protect your training partners, and I'll catch you in the next episode. All right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. If you enjoy the content, go leave a review over on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Give us a rating. It means the world to us. Also, if you want to be a guest on the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast, or if you just want to shout out to your friend, go check us out at podcast.pu'umuaythai.com. You can submit to be able to be a guest on the podcast. You can submit what you want to talk about. Also, if you want to just give a shout out, there's a button for that too. Sawadee Kop.